Here we are. We're back to Six by Seuss, and the woman who gave this to Caleb, Mrs. Chitwood, said that the Lorax was her favorite. So, in honor of Mrs. Chitwood, we're going to read the Lorax. Here it is, the Lorax. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. That's what it says on the sign. It says the lifted Lorax. And there's our protagonist. There's our main character. Let's see what happens here. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. This is where the Onceler lives. The Onceler. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He says in his lurkum. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dark midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. That's kind of an interesting deal. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Can you see it? Can you see the pail? Right, there it is. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grooveless glove. Then he grunts, I'll call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. There he is hiding his money. He's getting the money out. And there he is saying, okay, you're going to have to wait. Whisper my phone. Wonder what that is. Oh, here it is. Slip down slips the whisper-my-phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through the snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. There's the... What do they call that? He called that a whisper-my-phone. That's what that's called, a whisper-my-phone. See it? Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swans sang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the trufala trees, the bright-colored tufts of the trufala trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. There's the trufala tree. You see him? There he is coming in his wagon. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbalot suits, as they played in the shade and ate trufala fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. Here's the brown barbalots. That's what these are, brown barbalots. And there's the humming fish. Do you see the humming fish? See, look, they all look like they're humming. But those trees, those truffula trees. All my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. There he is. There's the Onceler. The Onceler wagon is what it's called. And he's checking out the trees there. The truffula trees. And there he is, setting up the wagon. He's getting everything out of his wagon, getting ready. Uh-oh. Look, he's got an axe. Do you see the axe? Whoops. Do you see the axe? Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Like he just set up a house, the Onceler. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. Uh-oh. There he is. He's knitting a thneed. Look at this, where he chopped down one tree with one axe. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazoomp. I looked and I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I'd chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. There he is, coming out of the tree trunk. Knocked off the axe. Look at there. Now remember, he's sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft? There he is. Look, Lorax, I said, that's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree down. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed. But the very minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You stupid fool. You stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. There's the guy walking away with his thneed. There's the Lorax. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts and I said, Listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Winnock, sharp right at South Stitch. This doesn't look good. There he is on his phone he built, his radio phone. See, he even still has some of the tools out. You see that? And the wires. I think the Lorax is right. I think there's some little greed there. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Look at there. They're chopping them all down. Chop, 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 chop. And they're bringing them in a wagon. And they're working on there in the factory. Do you see them knitting them up? There's the Lorax. He's watching all this. Then, oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now, chopping one tree at a time was too slow, so I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making Thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. There's the big, what do you call that? Oh, he called that the super axe hacker. There it is. There's the super axe hacker. Got an axe, an axe, an axe, an axe. 4 of them all at once. There's no Lorax. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown Barbaloots, who played in the shade in their Barbalot suits and happily lived eating truffle of fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle of fruit to go round, and my poor Barbalots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies." There's the Lorax and there's the Barbalots, or Barbaloots. They don't look healthy, do they? Not once. Not one of them looks healthy. "They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. The Onceler felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. There they go. They're all leaving. See them? All the way up there. I meant no harm. I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. Of the Thneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more Thneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. There they go, all those wagons, right? Northeast, southwest, there you go. There's the Thneed factory. Look how big it is. Oh my goodness. That's where all the little wagons are coming up the rails to the factory. And again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snargled, he sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a cruffulous croak. "Onceler, you're making much smugulous smoke. My poor swami swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." See, there's a smog. See, it's all the smoke going up from the factory chimney. See it? See all that. I wonder what the Onceler's going to do. "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off." "Where will they go? I don't hopefully know." "Oh, where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here." There they all go. Can you see them? They're all flying away. That's sad. There's a Lorax waving goodbye to him. "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity glup, also schloppity schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you." There's all the sloppity slop and the gluppity glup. Ooh, yuck. Look at that. It's coming out and going into the pond where the hummingfish were, or are. "You're glumping the pond where the hummingfish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off when their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary." And there they go. They're leaving. It's so sad. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say, bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into needs, which everyone, everyone needs. At that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. Uh-oh. Last truffula tree? There it goes. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big factory, the Lorax and I. There they go. They're all taken off. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. There goes the Lorax. Look, he's grabbed the seat of his pants and he's flying himself out. I don't know how that happened, but there it is. It's a Dr. Seuss book. Of course it happened. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. Here's the pile of rocks, and it says, unless. And everything's falling apart. Look, it's all falling apart. I wonder what he's worried about. He didn't seem to be worried before. Let's see. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. And there's the young main character there in the pile of rocks that says, unless. And there's the Onceler still talking to him. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula. Treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest. Protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. There he is. There's the seed. He's throwing down the seed. So here he is throwing down the seed. And that's the end of the story. That left it wide open. Now you can kind of imagine, I wonder what the ending would be like. See you later. Bye.